Oh, hey, my name is Brent here on Cloudy with the Chance of Meeples. Just having a sip of my lemonade here in my Dice Words cup. Today we are looking at Dice Words, a game all about, you got it, dice. Comes in this little bag, inside of a box, but the box went in the recycling, and now everything fits-ish in this bag. More on that momentarily, but in this game you will be rolling and re-rolling, Yahtzee style, dice with letters, trying to make the longest word to get the most points, but you got some target letters you need to use. Let me show you how this works in the radar overview, then we'll come on back and I'll share my final forecast. Cue thunder. So the radar overview for Dice Words looks something like this. This is a real-time speed spelling game, word creating game, and so it plays over 5 to 15 rounds if you want a short, medium, or long game. Each player will get a little cup with a straw scoreboard and 7 matching dice. You have 4 kind of community target letters that you'll want to be using each round. You have a 2-minute timer. There's a sugar cube. I'll explain that momentarily. But the timer goes and players roll their dice, and they actually typically, it's fun to roll them in your cup. Kind of not necessary, but adds a little bit of a toy factor to it. At that point, you can make a word. And in similar Yahtzee style, you can have up to 2 rerolls, saving any letters that you want. So I'm just going to keep those. Let's see if I can actually make a word. Not looking good. Pretty terrible words or letters here. Let's see. I'm not the best in spelling, but let's see what I can actually do. Of course, similar to games like Scrabble, you can't do any proper nouns, no hyphenated words, nothing of sorts. So let's see what kind of word I can do. Let's just do steer. S-T-E-E-R. Steer. Let's say that round would end, and I would then put my word on my scoreboard. At that point, I add up the total of my word. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times however many letters of the target letters I used. So 7 times 1 is 7. And then I covered up 5 because I made a 5-letter word. So I would get 7 plus 5. I would get 12 points. So that is what you do. In a short game, you play 5 rounds. You re-roll these each time. And you will have a different variation of different letters to try to have as targets. I will also say that a couple of these dice have, let's find one, have a question mark. That can be used as any letter. So if I would use that, imagine I spell the word donut. Donut like this. I'm not going to be able to find a U, am I? Yeah, there you go. I spelled the word donuts. How about that? At that point, this would count as a D. It will get me 0 points. So my score would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a D, so I used it. 8 times 1 is in fact 8. Plus 10 is 18. But let's say I didn't use any of these letters. Let's say this was a G, and I did donuts. Same example. At that point, it would be 8 times 0 is 0, plus 10 is 10. And so you're really trying to target these or use these target letters. And like I said, you can play any amount of rounds. It says in the rule book 5 rounds is a short game, up to 15 rounds is a long game. Each round, like I said, is 2 minutes. You have this ice cube die, which you can give it to whoever is in last place at the end of each round. So it's kind of a catch-up mechanism that they would then have 8 dice to use. You can also play, if you want to play with younger kids, you flip the board over and you start getting bonus points after only a 3-letter word versus a 5-letter word in the normal game. And whoever has the most points, so you got the scorecard, you would give 1 to each player. more thoughts on this, but you would give one to each player, and at the end of however many rounds you want to play, someone would be the winner. And that, in a nutshell, is how you play Dice Words. Let's move on over now and take a look at the final forecast. So the final forecast for Dice Words, a game all about making refreshing drinks, also known as different words. The components, let's start with that. I like the components. The dice are good quality. I like these cups. It's fun. Everybody's, rolling the dice and doing it again and shaking it up. And like, it has this fun atmosphere when you play this game. I will say, downfall, I as much as I like this bag, I do not like this scorecard. You have to roll it up to get it in the bag properly, to get everything fit in there nicely. And truthfully, after 2 games of this, you don't even need this because you know how to score. You don't need this big chart. All you're doing is adding up the sum of your word times by how many letters are in the target letters, adding a bonus. That's it. You can have an ongoing tally and figure it out without this word. Without this chart. I don't even use this anymore. Target letters. I like this little ice dice tray. Translucent dice are very, very neat, good quality. These boards, they are what they are. Again, you may not even need these after you played this game a handful of times, knowing how many points you get and how many bonuses. But let's dive into the gameplay on Dice Words. I feel the easiest way to explain this game and how it is, and my review is with a flowchart, much like this one. Do you like Dice Words? Or do you like word games? Sorry. If you don't like word games, this isn't going to change your mind. You're not going to like this. If you do you like Scrabble? Do you like adding up, the sum of your word? And much like Scrabble, you do? Perfect. Do you like being under a time limit? 2 minutes, much like Boggle. You got 2 minutes to figure out your word. You can't sit there forever and got your 7 letters and try to figure out the best word possible. You don't have unlimited time. You got 2 minutes. Do you like that? Okay. Yes. Do you like Yahtzee? Do you like that chance aspect? You really need an N. You really need an R. You're going to roll a couple dice. Ah, man. You got the N. Didn't get the R. Now what? Now I got to figure out what word to make with these leftover letters. Do you like that chance? If so, do you mind losing even though you're potentially the best player at the table when it comes to spelling? That you may lose because of luck. Does that bother you? If it doesn't, I think you'll enjoy Dice Words. If you answered no to any of those, chances are you're not going to like this. There's luck involved. There is not much there's no strategy. You're just making the words, and these dice will decide if you enjoy this game. I enjoyed this game. 75% chance of meeples. The components are great, say for this, but it has just this nice toy factor, fun look to the game. And my kids enjoy it. And maybe that's one of the reasons I love it so much, because my daughter keeps asking to play it. And I am all for playing games in which she can practice her spelling. She can use her brain and figure out problem solving of spelling. I like it in the rulebook that there's a QR code for resources for the classroom setting. You can print those out and you can play this in a classroom setting. You can play it that they have Dice Words Bingo, where each kid or each player gets a bingo card, and you roll 7 collective letters, and then you make a word. Oh, did you spell color? Write that color in here. Oh, an adjective, a noun, a verb. All these things, fill out your bingo card. Teach kids spelling in a fun way. This has been a lot of fun. I will say, even with the variant, the dice or the sugar cube, whoever's losing overall gets an 8th die. It'll match some of those target letters, but it won't score, but it'll potentially get more bonuses, which the normal, this is fine. I think the one with the more points is a little bit unbalanced, because if you make a 4-letter word, you're getting 10 bonus points, whereas you need to make a 6-letter word to get 10 bonus points. And maybe you're like, well, yes, of course. But if you're playing with a 9-year-old, chances are you're going to be able to spell a bigger word and get those bonuses. Yeah, sometimes you can. But at the same time, if they make a 5-letter word, they're getting a 15-point bonus and you're getting a 5-point bonus. And so I like the aspect of that variant, but I don't think it's necessarily balanced. Maybe this 5-point should only have started at the 4-letter word instead of a 3-letter word. But testing probably showed I'm wrong, and that is all right. Overall, I did enjoy this game. My kids have enjoyed this game. I have enjoyed playing it with Nicole. I get stomped. Like, it's not even funny. I'm losing so bad in this game, and I really don't care because you can play 5 rounds, which is like the short game, in 15 minutes. And like I said, there's something fun about rolling dice and trying to get that, that one specific letter. It does suck when you don't match any of the target letters, because you could have a 7-letter word and not match any of them. Your word could be worth 10 points, and 10 times 0 is still 0. But you would get 25 bonus points, but still, you could have that. I played this nearly 20 times, and on a handful of occasions, so that's 100 rounds, and I would say maybe 10% of the time, so 10 rounds out of the 100 that I've played, I've had this situation where I've not been able to match one of the 4 dice. And so it is a possibility, and that's the final one. Do you mind losing even though you may be the best speller at the table? You may lose because of luck. If that's a deal breaker for you, well, it is what it is. For me, 75% chance of meeples. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm excited to play it more and more and practice my spelling because I suck at spelling. Notably, my hat shows that right there. There you go. That's Dice Words in a nutshell. 75% chance of meeples. Do check it out if you are a fan of word games. It might surprise you. You might enjoy it more than you may think you will. My name is Brent. Until next time, grab your umbrella. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.